Hi everyone. In this video, I am going to demonstrate the first packet tracer activity of our module 13, where I will be demonstrating how do you configure a wireless network. So we will have an access point, we'll have a wireless router. How do you access the basic settings of the wireless router? So let's get going. For this, I want you to download the packet tracer activity 13.1.10 and please continue with me. This is the PT activity that I have with me. So let me just click on dock here so that I will have it always on top. And this is the topology that we have. You can see, let me just increase the size of it so it is much more clearer. We have various objectives for this particular PT activity. The first one is we connect to a wireless router, configure the wireless router, connect a wired device to the wireless router, connect a wireless device to the wireless router, and then add an access point to the network to extend the wireless coverage and update the default router settings. So let's start doing this. As we discussed in the earlier module, which is module 13 in the video, this is actually the basic setup of a wireless router. So the first things first, let me start with part one. So in part one, it says connect to a wireless router. Connect admin to WR. You can see here there is an admin PC given and WR is the wireless router that is shown here. It is asking me select connections represented by a lightning bolt from the bottom side of the packet tracer. Click copper straight through represented by a solid black line. Okay. When the cursor changes, this is simple. It is asking me to do the connection between the admin PC and the WR router. Okay, we have done it many number of times in the earlier videos also. So in that case, let me show it here. Click this link. You can see there is this is the copper straight through cable. Click on this. So in order to make sure that you do not connect this to the other ports or to the ports that are not given here, please go through reading. So WR will act as a switch to the devices connected to the LAN and as a router to the internet. Admin is now connected to the LAN. So you can see here the ports that we should be using is gigabit Ethernet 1. And here on the admin, the port that we need to be using is fast Ethernet 0. So let me click the cable here and then click on admin. You can see there is a fast Ethernet 0 port and then go to the WR and click the gigabit Ethernet 1 port. You can see there is a small orange dot here. In order to fast forward the activity, let me just click on the fast forward button. There is one which is down towards your bottom left hand side corner. Just click on that so that it accelerates the time, and now all the settings are done. Okay, so all the settings are done. Let me go to the next part. This is done. If there is no gray, as I said, there are no gray triangles are shown, make sure to enable the show link lights options preferences. Okay, fine, you need not do that, it's already been set up. You may also click fast forward time just about to the connection selection in the yellow bar. Okay, fine, no issues, just we did that. Configure admin to use DHCP, that is the step 2. So it is asking me to click on admin, so to reach the WR management page. Now if I want to configure this particular router, because I told you a wireless router can provide you multiple types of services, including DHCP services, including the security services. A lot of things can be configured. So for me to do that, I need to go and manually configure it. So for that, how do you do it? I told you, click on the admin desktop, go to the desktop, and then click on the web browser. Okay, you can see here, click on the web browser. Now it is asking me to do the first. Let me go step by step. So click on admin and select the desktop tab and click IP configuration. So on the admin PC, there is currently, this is selected as static, but it is asking me to go and select the DHCP one. So you can see requesting IP address, and this says that DHCP request is successful. So my admin PC has got the IP address, IPv4 address, the subnet mask, and the default gateway directly from DHCP. So it is asking what is the IP address of the computer. The IP address is 192.168.0.100. Subnet mask 255.255.255.0. Default gateway, it is 192.168.0.1. Close the IP configuration window. Okay, fine. That is done until this part. Now it is asking me connect to the WR web interface. Now for that, what I need to do is, I'm still in the admin tab. I need to click on the web browser. So this is my web browser. This is the web browser. Let me click on the web browser. It will open it. And in the URL, I need to type in the IP address. The IP address is nothing but the default IP address of my router, WR. So 192.168.0.1, enter. Now, when I want to enter into the router's management console, it will definitely ask for a username and password. When it is the first thing that you are using, you will have the default username and password, which will come along with the documentation that is sent with your router. When you purchase the router, the documentation is already in the box. You need to go through the documentation. Generally, most of the time, the username and password are for default are set as admin. So I am also using the same admin. You can see use admin for both the username and password. Admin and password also admin. And click OK. You can see here, this is the same. This looks the same kind of interface which we discussed during our module video. And now you under the network setup heading on the basic setup page. This is we are still in the basic setup page. Notice the IP address range for the DHCP server. So let me scroll down. It says automatic configuration is DHCP. The IP address of this particular router is 192.168.0.1. This is the default IP address that is given. DHCP is enabled. And the starting IP address is, the range is 192.168.0.100. And the maximum addresses that it can provide is 50. So the address range is 0.100 to 0.149. That is the address range. So it is asking me, is the IP address for admin within this range? Yes, because the admin has got its IP information from this WR. So in this WR router, the DHCP range specifies it from 0.100 to 0.149. So any address of admin has to get within this range only. So it is expected. It is the way it should work. Okay, so let me go here. Configure the internet port of WR. In this step, WR is configured to route the packets from the wireless clients to the internet. You will configure the internet port on WR to connect to the internet. Okay, now what do we need to do? Read here. Under the internet setup, at the top of the basic setup page, change the internet IP address method from automatic configuration DHCP to static IP. So I've shown you the very first thing that we have here is in the basic setup. Automatic configuration is selected here. So I need to change it to static IP address. Now, once I do that, I change it to static IP address, automatically it will be asking me all this type of information. Okay. So what I need to do is I need to enter these things. This is already given to me. So let me enter them here. The internet IP address for this is 209.165 to 200.225. Okay, make sure that you don't make any typing mistakes when you are entering these addresses. 255.255.255.0. This is the 2.252 is my subnet mask, and the default gateway is 209.165.200.226. And also the DNS server that is mentioned over here is 209.165.200.226. So this is what, these are the options that are given. So when you scroll down this particular window, at the bottom you can see there is something called as save settings. You have to do that. You have to click on save settings. Okay, so once I do that, I have saved the settings. So it is asking me scroll down the page and click save settings. Okay, I did that. Now the page has gone out. It says request timeout. If you get a request timeout message, close the admin window and wait for the orange lights to. I'm closing this admin window. See, once again there is an orange light over here. There's an orange light. Wait for the orange lines to turn into green triangles. If you don't want to wait, just click on the fast forward button. You can see now it turned green here. So to verify the connectivity, then reconnect to WR from the admin's browser using the process explained in step 3. Okay, I'll do the same thing again. Click on admin, click on web browser, and then type in the default IP address 192.168. What is that? 0.1, and then go. Now it will once again ask me the same thing. Admin. Username is admin, password is admin. So once again, I went into the details. 200.225, 255.252, 209.165.200.226. Just verify, cross verify. The DNS server says, see, the DNS server is wrong. So 209.165.201.1. Okay, this should be the DNS address. Let me click on save settings. Save settings. The DNS server is changed now. Okay, so this is what I just said. If you make a typing mistake, it's very difficult to troubleshoot it here. So for that reason, I ask you to make sure that you do everything right way the very first time itself. Let me click on admin. Let me do the procedure once again. Let me carry on with the procedure. 192.168.0.1 go. So and let me do this admin and then admin. Okay. Now I have these things. Okay, so my green triangles are on, so this looks good. Now the next thing, let me move on from here. This is I gave the static IP address also. Now it is asking me to verify connectivity, open a new browser and navigate to www.cisco.pka server. So okay, fine. I need to find whether there is still internet connectivity with me or not. For that, I have to close this. I have to reopen the web browser and then type in www.cisco.pka. Go. So hopefully it should return me the Cisco's server's web page. So to verify connectivity, open a new browser. This is what I just did. Okay, http cisco.pka server. While it is running, let me check it out. What is happening on the other side? So configure the wireless settings in part 2. Okay, so configure the wireless settings in part 2. Let me do that as well. It is asking me navigate to the WRGUI interface once again in a web browser on admin. Okay, see, there you go. The web page is open. It takes a little bit of time for the very first time when you do that. Ignore it. It may take up to 5 to 10 seconds. Now this is done. So let me close this. It's opening. Now it is asking me in part 2, configure the wireless settings. In this activity, we will configure the wireless settings for only 2.4 gigahertz band. Okay, fine. So once again, it is asking me navigate to the same GUI interface. For that, I need to go to the web browser again, 192.168.0.1. and then press enter. It once again, it will ask me for the credentials, admin. Just press enter. You can see these things. Now, here it is asking me to check out the other ones where navigate to the WRGUI interface and okay, fine. Navigate to the wireless, basic wireless settings. You can see there is this wireless tab over here. Click on this wireless tab. And you can see now we are currently in the basic wireless settings one. Okay, so basic wireless settings. It is asking me navigate to the change the network name SSID to a company. Okay, I can do that. You have to make sure that when you're typing it, you type it exactly what is shown there, because these are all case sensitive, and if you type them wrong, if you don't give the capital letters in the name, you won't be, these will not be considered for your marks. So company, I gave it for a company, the 2.4 gigahertz sensitive. Change the standard channel to 6. Now here the standard channel is selected as 1. So now it is asking me to convert it into 6. Okay, I told you that the general channels that we use are 1, 6 and 11. Okay, and for this activity, disable both the 5 gigahertz frequencies. Okay, there are two frequencies here, 5 gigahertz 1, 5 gigahertz 2. Both of them I'm disabling it. Okay, leave the rest of the settings unchanged, and then you go to the save settings mode. Scroll to the bottom of the window and then click on save settings. You can see here, scroll to the bottom, click on save settings. Okay, I did that as well. Click on save settings. Now it is actually asking me in this step, you configure wireless security setting. Navigate to wireless security. Okay, let me go back. You can see here, this is the basic wireless settings tab, and in the just towards the side, you find the wireless security tab. Click on that, and it is asking me under the 2.4 gigahertz heading, select WPA2 personal. You can see WPA2 personal. So you need to carefully select WPA2 personal, and it is asking me the encryption standard is AES as default, and the passphrase, it is asking me to click it as enter Cisco 123 exclamatory mark. So I'm going to give the same Cisco 123 exclamatory mark here. Okay, that is what it is asking me, and then it is asking me to go and click on the save settings. Just go here, click on save settings. You can see this is also saved. Now verify that the settings in the basic wireless security pages are correct and saved. Yes, we did that. You can go to the basic wireless settings. So everything is enabled, everything is done here. Now it is asking me to connect the wireless clients. So for that, let me just minimize this. You can see there are 1, 2, 3. There are 3 wireless clients here: laptop 1, laptop 2, and laptop 3. Right. So let me click on laptop 1. Go to the desktop tab. Click on PC wireless. Okay. Once you click on PC wireless, you can see a little information over here that currently the adapter is inactive. That means there are no wireless connections it is taking. Now it is asking me, select the connect tab. Go to the connect tab. You have to refresh so that until you see the internet SSID or the network SSID that you just created. You can see here that the network name given is A company and it is using channel 6. So let me click on A company and then use connect. And it is asking me for the password that I just set up, which is nothing but Cisco 123 exclamatory mark, and type in connect. And it shows the adapter is active. And if you want to have more information regarding this, you can just also check link information. You can see it is showing link quality is good, signal strength is also good. In order to make sure whether you are able to reach the internet or not, just close this window, come back to the web browser, and in the web browser, just type in www.cisco.pk, which is the server. So if you can see this page, that means that all the settings are done properly. The same steps have to be repeated to connect laptop 2 also. Now you can also see that there is a link that is happening over here. If you missed it in the earlier part, now there is no link between the WR and laptop 2. Now I'm going to connect laptop 2 to this particular SSID. So after I do that, if I do it properly, there should be a wireless link that should show me that there is a wireless connection between laptop 2 and WR or the wireless router. So let me go into the desktop tab, PC wireless, and going to the connect and refresh. Let me see if my SSID comes into play. Yes, you can see the A company one. Then click on connect and give the Cisco 123 exclamatory mark, connect. So then once again, you see the adapter is active. Link information should show it is active. Yes. And just to cross check it, go to the web browser, type in www.cisco.pka. Once again, it works fine. Now you see the wireless connection is showing that there is a wireless connection between laptop 2 and your wireless router. So step 3 is done. Let us move on to part 3. So connect wireless clients to an access point. You see the access point over here, right? So it is asking me connect port 0 of access point to available Ethernet port of WR using a straight through Ethernet cable. I want a wired connection between my wireless router and the access point. So let me click on it, Gigabit Ethernet 2. And onto the access port, I have only one port 0, connect it. Once again, you see this little yellow orange colored one. Let me just click on the speed up button so that it comes into green triangle. Now click AP, click on the access point. You will see like this. And here, go into the config tab. Go into the config tab. Under configuration tab, you select port 1. Port 1. Now, in the SSID field, enter A company. This is the SSID field. I'm just giving the same SSID that we had earlier because we are just extending the network. I'm not creating a completely new network. A company. Okay. A company. And it is asking me, select the WPA2 PSK. Okay. There you go. There is here authentication method, WPA2 PSK, and the same passphrase that we used earlier. Cisco 123 exclamatory mark. So there you go. In the passphrase page, keep AES. The default should be always AES. So let's leave it there. Okay. So let me close this. This is done. Let me close this. And now connect the wireless clients so that they will be able to contact the access point. On open laptop 3, go to the desktop, click on PC wireless, and go to the connect tab. Click refresh. The same steps that we did for our earlier laptops. You can see that we have two SSIDs, A company, both are the same network, but it is showing you one is having a very good signal strength of 81% and the other one is having a signal strength of 52%. Now select the wireless network name as A company with a stronger signal, which is channel 1, which is the one which is coming from access point. So let me click it here. One which is having a higher signal strength and then connect. Once again, I need to enter the same password. Cisco 123 exclamatory mark. Connect. There you go. Once it is done, you can see that the laptop 3 is now connected to the access point itself. You can see, check it out there. So this is also done. And let me close this. Just to verify, go to the web browser, see whether you are able to contact the server or not. Cisco.pka. Enter. You get the packet tracers homepage. So this is also working fine. Now this part is done. You can see there is part 4 which will allow you to browse through the other administrative tasks. It is asking me on admin, navigate to the WRGUI interface. Okay, we have to do the same thing. I want to reach, it's already there here. Okay, interface, navigate to administration. You can see there is an administration tab over here. So go to the administration tab and is asking me to change the current router password to Cisco. Earlier it used to be admin, right? Now it is asking me to change the password. I'm changing it to Cisco and I'm also changing it to Cisco. Okay, fine. I changed the default password and it is asking me to save the settings. So let me save settings. Click on save settings. Okay. So usually once we do that, it should kick you out. It will ask you to re-enable. That the reason why I didn't ask is because I didn't enter it for the very first time. So let me do that for now. So let me go into the web browser. Let me type in 192.168.0.1. Go. Now I should type in admin, and if I type in admin, it should say, see, the authorization is failed. So admin, and then I should type in Cisco. Only then it will allow you to enter into the management console. That means I changed the password. That is done. So this is all done. Using the prompt to click on the continue and move on to the next step. This is what we got. Let us go to the next step. I changed the default password now. So let me move on to the next step, which is the change the DHCP address range in the WR. Now it is asking me to go to modify the DHCP's range. So setup, basic setup, scroll down to the network setup. Okay, fine. This is in the network setup. This is where we are. And it is asking me the IP address assigned to router's IP is 192.168.0.1. Okay. So here change it to 192.168.50.1. Okay, I need to do that 50.1. Okay, and there are 50 available addresses. Okay, let me change it to 50 available addresses. Usually this might change to your environment because I clicked recently, so it looks a little bit different. So the starting address is 0.100 and the maximum number of users is 50. So this should be my range, and it is the IP address is 192.168.50.1. okay, so and also add the DNS server here, which is I have to type in the DNS server here in the network setup. You got that particular part, 209 tab 165 tab 201 tab 1. This is what we do. 209.165.201.1. okay, scroll to the bottom of the window and click save settings. This should be 100. This is not. This should be 100. So it says request timeout. It says request a timeout. Okay. So once it says request timeout, you have to start doing it from the start. That means we need to come out of it and you have to close this browser and you have to redo everything. So let me show you that. Let me close this and do it from here. The reason why we get a request timeout is here because we actually changed the address of the router from 192.168.0.1 to 192.168.50.1. The range of this default router is nowhere within our DHCP pool, because earlier our pool, if you remember correctly, it's 192.168.0.100 till 0.149. That is the pool which we decided earlier. So that is the reason it kicked out. So what we need to do is we need to close this window and what we need to do is, if you want, you can actually click it in the admin desktop tab, click command prompt. Okay, if I want, I can go into the admin, click on command prompt, and I can actually type here as, see, wait, I'll show you. So ipconfig space hash renew. Sorry, renew. So when I do that, what it is doing is, it is making this admin PC to go get its parameters again from DHCP, because now I changed the pool. You can see the parameters are changing now. We got 50.100. Similarly, we have to do the same for each and every access point. Now for this laptop and everything, we need to change it, right? So IP config space renew, enter. So for each and every one of these laptops also, you will start getting a new address, because I changed it inside. I'll show you that as well. And then I need to go into the laptop to go to the command prompt, IP config space hash renew, enter. All of these things we need to do it. And even for laptop 3, command prompt IP config space hash renew. So I got it. Now it shows that the completion is also 100%. Now if you can see here, the laptop one is now connected to the access point instead of WR, because earlier we connected the laptop one to the wireless router. This is the only reason why it does is because it is detecting a strong signal strength from the access point than that of the wireless router. So it automatically connected. That is the reason. The access point is also, we are simply extending the available Wi-Fi. That's all. It's the same network. So let me show you once again that parameters, and then we'll close it out. Go into the web browser. Now you have to type in 192.168.0.1. See, if I type this in, I no longer going to get into the administrative console, because I changed the default IP address of my wireless router. It says request timed out. It's not going to allow me. See, request timed out. If I type in 192.168.50.in, because in this step, you can see, because, sorry, 50.in, again, because in this step here, I changed it. If you remember, the IP address, I'm changing it from 192.168.0.1 to 192.168.50.1. So that is the reason I can no longer use that IP address. That means the default IP address is changed. So for me to connect it, I need to have my new address only, 192.168.50.1. Go. Now it will automatically ask for the username, which is admin. And we also changed the password. If you remember, we changed the password from admin to Cisco. I'll show you. You can see here in this D to Cisco. So CISCO. Okay. Once I do that, I will be able to enter into this. You can see here. There you go. The IP address is changed to 192.168.50.1. The DHCP server settings now change. You can see here 50. It's 100. It is saying that the maximum number of users is 28 right now. Fine, because of the subnet mask, and the static DNS is given here. So this is how you actually configure your own settings on the Wi-Fi. You have a router, you can actually add an access point as well, which extends your Wi-Fi range. So let me give you one session before I close. I have to do this more than twice because I entered the DNS settings wrong. It's just a typo. I entered them by mistake. So please make sure that you don't do the same mistakes. If you do it point by point, there should be no issues at all. You will be able to understand. You will be able to access the interface. If you want, you can actually check out the other features that are there in the interface as well. So with that, let me take my leave. So thank you for watching. The next video, I will show you how to configure a WLAN on the WLC by using the first WPA2 personal parameters. So thank you very much. Take care.